Medical Center, Horn Auto Center, and Honda Ski and Outdoor Sports. And now, Sholo Ford presents high school basketball on iTalk 1067 and worldwide on iTalk1067.com.
A very good evening, folks, from Holbrook High School, home of the Roadrunners, Munoz Gym. As I'm Aaron Hewish, I'm joined by Jace Hardy as we are set to bring you the Holbrook Roadrunners hosting the Winslow Bulldogs at Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com, as we'd like to start out with our Ace Hardware keys to the game. And you know, the way Holbrook's been doing, the keys to the game is Winslow's going to have to be very good at keeping the ball and not turning it over, as Holbrook has been on a little bit of a roll lately. As for Winslow has got to not turn it over. Holbrook has to create turnovers every chance they get. I look for Holbrook to put some pressure on. And Coach Delmar Johnson always does a fantastic job having his team prepared for these big games. You can look at the schedule and look at what's going on and say, well, you know, maybe these teams are maybe it's a little bit of a mismatch, but I can promise you that in a rivalry game, you throw that out the window, and we're going to have ourselves a game here. Jason, any thoughts on the game with our Ace Hardware keys of the game?
I think it's going to be a really good game. I think both are going to play hard, going to be a fast-paced game. Looking forward to it.
I always look for a fast-paced game because it just makes it more entertaining for the fan.
That is true.
Next, we have our Summit Healthcare injury report. And as far as we know, there is no major injuries to report of at this time, as Puhu Favaya, we're going to call him Favaya again tonight as we get the Winslow starters announced here. Winslow coached by Venton Nelson, and the Holbrook Roadrunners coached by Delmar Johnson. Anyway, back to our Summit Healthcare injury report. As far as we know, no major injuries to report for either team. Each team's at full strength and looking to have ourselves a basketball game this evening. That is our Summit Healthcare injury reports. We'd like to welcome all those folks tuning in as this is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com. Ace Hardware, Comfort Fit Denture sponsoring our three-pointers tonight. Deemer's Glass, 188 Glass Man, with our Glass Man of the game, which is, we're going to call our player of the game as well as our Glass Man of the game tonight. Summit Healthcare with our injury report. Deemer's Glass, Honda Ski and Outdoor with our halftime and post-game show. And Northland Pioneer College sponsoring our quarter tip-offs tonight. And when it comes time to tip off your college education, tip it off to the college with the lowest tuition in the state. That's Northland Pioneer College. As Tom, Brown, Salabai, Cummings, Vicente, and Tapaha are the starters for the Roadrunners. Bulldogs, we have Henling, as well as Torres. I believe Baker is over there.
24 in the back.
Baker, and is it Tyran Favai, number 35? No, it's going to be Casey Monroe for the Bulldogs. Tip controlled by the Holbrook Roadrunners, and we are underway here at Munoz Gym in the shadows of Route 66. And Holbrook starts off the game with the three-pointer by Xavier Brown. As we have a whistle, and Jace, nothing but net, and it shows it.
That was a great shot.
Great shot from the corner, and those of you who know local basketball at all and have followed it through the years, is fans wanted him out of bounds, but they can't see that play. But as most of you know, Holbrook shoots very well in this gym. It is a dangerous place for opponents to play. The atmosphere, everything is just a little bit different. As Winslow, no, Casey Monroe is not going to have any of that as he hits his own three-pointer. So we're already started off with 2 3-pointers as it's over to Basenti.
It's a great way to respond to that three.
Tom, Basenti, inside to number 42, and that is Tapaha. And we're going to get the first foul of the game on the Bulldogs. That's going to be number 20 for the Bulldogs. That is Henling, first personal. That is the first team, 7-18. Not even a minute gone by here in the first quarter. And we've seen 2 Comfort Fit dentures, 3-pointers. As Tapaha up and in, and it is good. That's going to be good for Tapaha, and Tapaha's going to go and 1. So, Jace, if Tapaha can make this, we have a chance for 3 3-point plays to start this game.
Man, that's crazy.
It's exactly what you said to start this game, sir. As
great way to
Tapaha
start
at the line to shoot his. It is up. It is good. It falls. Winslow to inbound. Holbrook going to put on the pressure. And like I said earlier, Holbrook does an amazing job of shooting from the corners in their home gym. There's something over here. Holbrook always seems to have 2 or 3. They can just shoot and put down that 3-point shot. As that is number 20, Salabi, as he's going to give it over. No, that's for the 25 is Hartnett for the Bulldogs. No, I'm
35.
That's 35. You're correct. As Baker's going to bring up the ball for the Bulldogs. Baker over to the side. Tipped away. Baker's going to up. We're going to have a loose ball, and that is control. And that's going to be a travel. That's going to be Brown coming up, and Brown's going to get whistled for the travel as we're going to have our first substitution of the game, and that is Kinlachini checking in for the Holbrook Roadrunners. Kinlachini wearing number 12, the junior for the Roadrunners. Inbounded to Favai. Favai over to his teammate Henling. Henling give and go. Baker on the far side with the ball. Inbounded to Favai. Favai no good, off the mark, and that's going to be Tapaha ending up the rebound. And Tapaha coming down, going full court. Now he's going to dish it off. There's a dangerous shot there by 5, Brown. Winslow going to contest it and not give it to him. Holbrook wearing their home whites trimmed in the red and the blue. Blue trimmed with red, and that's Tapaha for 3, no good. Rebound, kicked away. Basenti ends up with it. As Holbrook's just going to be dangerous from that arc all night long, and they're going to live out there. 23 seconds on the shot clock. Basenti with the ball. Basenti holds. Now he's going to go to the middle as Brown. Is that Brown or Tom? That is Tom is going to take it to the far side. Tom at the top of the key over to Basenti. Basenti with the ball. Basenti almost had a wide open 3. Now he dribbles, shoots, throws, no good. Rebound. Brown with the rebound. Brown to Tom. Tom over to the far side. And that's going to be a shot clock violation because we didn't have it as the shot clock goes off, and we have a tap of the head. Shot clock violation. 6-5 here, early on lead for the Roadrunners by 1, as the Roadrunners going to crash and put some pressure. Not going to contest Baker to bring in the ball. They're going to have, that's Basenti and Tom over to help with the defense as inbounded to Favai. Tyren Favai. Up, shoot, no good. Rebound by Tapaha, tip, no good, and that is was that number 5, Jace?
It was.
Or was that number
number 30.
30. 30 is going to be Favai. So he shot, rebound, back to him, over and up. Tom at the top of the key. Tom over to Basenti. Basenti to Brown. Back to Basenti. 3-point shot, and that is a Comfort Fit Dentures 3-point shot. And the Winslow coaching staff a little bit I thought they might call a timeout and put a little bit, but nonetheless, the lead disappears for the Bulldogs, and now they're down 2. 4 minutes and 30 seconds left as Favai dribbles, goes in. No, that was Monroe, excuse me. Monroe goes in, tipped away. I'm having trouble from our angle seeing some of the numbers, so I apologize. Basenti, Kinlachini, Tom, Brown, back to Tom. Tom in the middle to Kinlachini. 3-point shot, no good. Off the mark, rebound. Rebound Tapaha, no good. Ball is going to be out of bounds. I believe Favai is going to kick that out of bounds, and that's going to go to 40, and that is 40. Jay Smith going to inbound the ball. Smith into Vicente. No, Tapaha into Vicente.
42.
As Tapaha is off the
35.
mark there, Winslow on the run. Winslow one-on-one break. Tom going to give it. Turnover by the Bulldogs. Tom in control of it, bringing it down. Crosses the time stripe here at Munoz Gym. Vicente looking at his teammate Brown. Give it back, give it back. Now over to Tom. Back to Vicente. In the corner for Brown. Vicente, number 40, with the ball, ends over to Tom. Tom to his teammate Ken Lacini. 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, and we have a turnover. Bulldogs on the run now, and that is going to be tipped out of bounds. That is going to be Monroe, and I believe that was to his teammate no, not Henling. That was to 23. That is Torres, and it tips off his fingertips, and now it's going to belong to the Roadrunners as Ken Lacini set to inbound, and Ken Lacini inbounds to Rico, and that's Rico's first time in the game. To Vicente. Tapaha, the big man underneath. Tapaha, reverse layup, good. And that's going to extend the lead to 4. Under 4 minutes, actually 3 minutes, just over 3 minutes left to play. Torres bringing the ball, crosses over. Torres to his right, picks his dribble up, over to Favai. Tyren Puhu Favaya for 3, and we have to blow it off and straighten the net again as inbound to the Roadrunners. Vicente rebounds, gets the ball back, over to Rico. Rico to Ken Lacini. Ken Lacini to Rico on the side, in the middle to Tapaha. Reverse layup by Tapaha to Ken Lacini. Reverse layup in the key, no good. Rebound Monroe. Monroe on the dribble, sending it to Favai. No, that's Torres off the mark, and we have the ball on the loose ground, and that is going to be Xavier with just some strength ripping it ahead. He's going to send it to Tapaha. Tapaha is going to send it forward to Rico. And no, that was Ken Lacini. Now we have Favai one-on-one, left-hand side, left-hand layup. That's good. Winslow up on the Bulldogs, 12-11, 2 minutes left in the first quarter, as we've had ourselves a quick one here. In the corner, Ken Lacini. That's a three-point shot, Ken Lacini. Jaden Ken Lacini, number 12, with the 3, as Baker brings up the ball. Baker's going to cross over the time stripe. Baker dribbling lane, 6-foot jumper, off the mark, rebound, Tapaha. Tapaha, long court pass to Ken Lacini. Ken Lacini up and good, and I think we're going to see, 16-12, Holbrook on a little bit of a 5-point run here, as Torres is going to bring up the ball. Torres drives the lane, left hand, left side. Now Torres is going to have it. We're going to get whistled for a foul on the court, and the Holbrook faithful not liking the call. But I believe, Jace, that was before the body contact where they were thinking it was the charge.
Yeah,
I think it was a slap on the hand.
Yeah, I think there was a little bit of contact before.
Baker over to Torres. Torres back out to Monroe. Top of the key to David, who sees his first minutes of the game. David just checked in. Three-pointer by Monroe off the mark. And that is going to be Tapaha. Didn't quite sure up the rebound, and he's going to kick it out of bounds. So that's going to be to the Winslow Bulldogs. However, 33 seconds on the shot clock. The shot clock did not reset, but plenty of time left for him after that rebound. And that's going to be David's first points of the game, up and in, the big junior for the Winslow Bulldogs. Now stolen by Favaya, and he's got 2. Tyren Puhu Favaya with the ball. Tapaha, the big man, bringing it up the court, and he's going to try to dribble around, and Baker's going to get whistled for the foul. I believe that's going to be Baker's first personal.
I think so.
And that's going to go down as the second team, as we're just at a minute left here in the first quarter. Those of you watching at home, Holbrook has a unique scoreboard where ties are in yellow. If a team goes up, they'll be in green. The clock's at red when it's stopped. It goes green when it turns over, so interesting. Winslow with their third team foul. Baker's first. Vicente coming back to the middle to set it up. Over to Rico. Rico in the middle at the volleyball line. I think that's the 28-foot line possibly. As now in the hands, and we're going to have us a loose ball, and we're going to get a foul. The foul is going to stay, but I believe
it was on 32,
that
I believe.
30. We're not seeing the clock on who. I couldn't see the fingers of the official, but I believe 32. It was 32. It's his first bird. That's the fourth team, though, but only 45 seconds left as we have the 5 team fouls per quarter. Vicente to inbound. Vicente way over the top to Rico. Rico back out on top with the key. Fresh shot clock. That's going to be out of bounds by Baker. Baker's going to tip it out, so the shot clock will remain at 31. Vicente to bring in the ball as referee Quinn Ashton gives him the ball. Vicente gives it over to Rico. Rico looking at plenty of time. Shot clock about 10 seconds behind the game clock. Turnover. Turnover is going to end up in the hands of Monroe. Monroe dribbling to his right. Over to the middle to Favai. Favai into 23. That is Torres. Torres up, blocked, no good. And that's Tapaha with the save. The save to Rico. Rico to Tapaha. Now it's going to give a chance for Tapaha to go low. Vicente NBA range, no good. And rebound by the Bulldogs. Rebound by Baker. Baker over to Favai. Favai ahead to David. David at the three-point line on his left side. Drives, shoots. It is blocked by number 20, Celebi, and we have the short shot. No good. That's going to end the first quarter with the Holbrook. No! 16-16 tie. This is Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Arno. I might not be comfortable on the basketball court, but I promise, at Comfort Fit Dentures, you'll feel comfortable. Always.
Comfort Fit Dentures has dentures starting at $499 with payment plans, and they have 2 labs, meaning you get your dentures in days instead of weeks. Call Comfort Fit Dentures today to schedule a free exam and x-ray. 928-888-0002. 928-888-0002.
Who sells the #1 truck in America? Sholo Ford. That's right. Not only do they sell it, Sholo Ford is the best place to buy it. Why? Guy Hatch guarantees it. In fact, he guarantees you'll get the best deal on your next Ford car, van, or SUV as well. It doesn't matter what you buy. Sholo Ford has the best deal. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
Welcome back to Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball as we get ready to start the second quarter. The alternating possession belonging to the Winslow Bulldogs as Winslow set to inbound the ball. And Monroe's going to inbound the ball back to Baker as Torres, Baker, Favai, David, and I'm not seeing who the other one is. I said Torres on the court for the Bulldogs. Torres, long court 3. No good as Jace, who you got out there? I said Monroe, Baker, 23, Torres, David. 20. Actually, we got them all. There they are. So okay. Monroe was my last one.
That's one we're missing. Okay.
Kicked out by the Roadrunners. Going to belong to the Bulldogs. Baker to inbound. Baker looking for Favai. No, he sends it over to David. David, big guy in the middle. The way you break a press. Over to Favai. Favai right side. Looks to shoot. Takes it out with his hand. Guarded, Baker with the ball. Favai up after the pass from Baker, no good. David tried to get that rebound, but out-rebounded up by Tapaha. Tapaha over to Bia. Bia's first minutes of the game as now Vicente sends it back over to Tapaha. Tapaha quite looking to get down low. Bia in the game. Bia to Tom. Back to Bia, over to Vicente, inside to Salabi, and that's going to be up and good for a lead for the Holbrook Roadrunners. David with the ball, three-point range. David long 3, no good. Follows his shot, still doesn't get it. That's going to go to Vicente. Vicente on the rebound. Now Bia bringing up the ball, crosses the time stripe, top of the key. Bia dribbling, over to Tom. Tom, back to Bia. Over on the far side to Vicente. Tapaha, three-point shot, no good. Tapaha almost gets his own rebound, but David's now going to take it away on the other end. David back a little bit to number 30, Favai. Favai right side, about 12-foot jumper, no good. Back over, rebound David to Favai. Favai up and good. That ties the game. 2 minutes gone by here in the second quarter. Jason, any thoughts on right now? You said fast-paced game, and it's been nothing but.
This is exciting first half.
You know, one thing I like about these fast-paced transition games is definitely it's more entertaining for the fans. And the thing about it is there's times it's gotten a little bit out of control, but for the most part, it's been pretty under control and it's been some pretty good basketball.
Great basketball.
As we're going to get a
so far.
timeout by Delmar Johnson, Coach Delmar Johnson. We're going to take it too. This is Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint now has 3 locations to serve you. Snowflake, Lakeside, and now Sholo. And with over 85 years combined experience in auto glass and over 40 years of combined experience in window tint, you can trust the experts at Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint with your vehicle. Call them today.
Just call 536-5972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you.
Welcome back to Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball. Tied 18-18 here in Munoz Gym from Holbrook, Arizona. Winslow Bulldogs as Holbrook inbounds the ball after the timeout. After some passing using a shot clock, they send it into Tapaha, and Tapaha is going to put it up and in for 2, but guess what? He is fouled, so a chance for Tapaha to get the 3-point play, up 20-18, 5:13 left here in the second quarter. Jason, any thoughts on that timeout? The timeout did something because Holbrook sure had some great ball control and handling after that.
Yeah, they're coming out with a little bit of fire. Yeah.
Tapaha makes his 3-point play, 21-18, up by 3, as Monroe's going to bring it up inside to David. David, about a 10-foot jumper from the free throw line, fading back. Good for the big guy underneath. As Tapaha's going to end up with it, he's going to go over to Tom. Tom back to Vicente, over to Tom. Tom wants to get that 3-point shot. He does, and he dribbles back out and in. He's going to shoot about a 9-foot jumper, no good. Ball's going to ricochet in, and it's going to be rebounded by David. David's going to send it forth to Monroe. Monroe, 2-point shot, and it is banked off, and it is good. And now Winslow up by 1. Great game, folks. Thank you for joining us on Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com. As Tapaha loses it, and now Winslow gets the rebound. Baker, 2-on-2. Baker takes it himself. No, he doesn't take it. As he goes up right at the last minute looking to pass to his teammate. I believe that was Torres, and now Baker's going to be fouled. That's going to be the first team foul by the Roadrunners this quarter. As Baker's going to go to they're going to they're going to call him down. Baker's going to inbound the ball. Ball was on the ground.
Number 11 came in.
Fouled him before he went up for the shot. As Rico checks in, Rico's Isaac Panana stepping in for the Bulldogs. As a little bit of confusion on who's coming out. Monroe, 11, Panana replaces Monroe. Favai with the ball. Over to David. David didn't start, but getting a ton of minutes here. Baker at the top of the key, 24 seconds on the shot clock. Baker over to Favai. David in the middle. David 13 feet out. Passes over to the corner, and I can't see who the number is. I thought that's actually going to be Panana, Isaac Panana, with the shot. Winslow up by 1, as we're going to get a foul whistled, and
40's coming in.
that is going to be number 40 is going to check in. That is Jace Smith for the Winslow Bulldogs. Bulldogs up 1, just under halfway through this second quarter. As don't go anywhere, folks, we're going to have your Honda Ski and Outdoor halftime show as David puts up another 2. And Winslow a little bit on the run here, clawing back a little bit after that 3-point play by Tapaha. They have clawed back and now have their own 3-point lead of the game. Tapaha in the middle with the ball, looking for Brown. Brown over to Cummings. Cummings to Brown, back to the middle of Tapaha. Over to Vicente. Vicente off the mark. Rebound Bulldogs. Torres bringing it over, sending it to David. David to the side. Give and go back to David. That was a great job by number 11, Panana, getting the ball. And, Jace, that's just textbook give and go basketball.
Really is. Wow.
Vicente in three-point range, almost took a shot, no go, and that is going to be a shot by Cummings. Cummings hit the top of the backboard, which isn't out of bounds, but that hits the support. Then it's out of bounds. Now it's going to be the Bulldogs as Favai is going to bring it in to Panana. Now Favai eventually back with it over the time stripe. David in the middle. David at three-point range to Panana. Panana drives left side, left hand, no good. Rebound, Vicente. Vicente dribbling in the middle, giving it to his teammate Salabai. As Vicente back up the middle, top of the key. Over to Brown. Brown 3 points, no good. Rebound is secured by Favai. Favai going, looking, crossing the time stripe. Torres, long three-point shot, no good, off the mark. Rebound, Brown. Vicente over there at the side to Brown on the side. Holbrook looking to get that open shot in the corner. Brown with that open shot, and there it is, Jace. Three-point field goal. As we got to fix the net, so we're going to be whistled for, I don't want to call it a timeout. We're going to be whistled for an equipment issue. As Kinlachini is going to check back in for Cummings. Panana inbounds the ball, and Panana has it knocked away over in the corner to Brown. Brown off the mark, and there's David. David looking to dribble, and Brown's going to be whistled for the foul. Jace, it looked like Brown, and here's the replay. You can see him hold on and just pull that arm. Yep. Great job by our cameraman. Tapaha not letting us get a great view of that, but just enough to see he pulled that arm, and I think it's a great call by the officials.
Glad the cameraman caught it because I didn't.
Panana, Baker with the ball, inbounds, ends up in Baker's hands. Baker over the time stripe. Back to Panana. Smith with the drive, Smith. And we're going to get us an offensive foul by number 40, Jay Smith, as I'm not sure, but Tapaha just stepped in there and said, I'm going to take this, and we have another team foul as Holbrook gets the ball back down 2. Vicente crosses it over. Winslow putting some half-court pressure on. Over to Kinlachini, to Brown. Brown trapped in the side. Back over to Kinlachini. Kinlachini loses it, but Kinlachini's going to hit that half-court stripe, and referee says, no, you can't do that. You can't backcourt it like that, so ball is going to belong to the Winslow Bulldogs, up 2, minute 24 left. Don't go anywhere, folks. We have our Honda Ski and Outdoor halftime show. Chance to run down our sponsors. Chance to give us a little break as we have ourselves a pretty good one here. As Tapaha just knocks that loose out of the hands, but ends up in the hands of David. David, about a 9-foot jumper from the side, and the Roadrunners are going to throw it away on just a little bit of pressure by the Bulldogs, and that's going to force Winslow to throw it away. And Coach Johnson over for the Roadrunners can't be happy about that, as he's seen his team throw a couple away here. Golden opportunities to make things work. Baker with the ball. Baker guarded by Tom. Panana with the ball in the middle to David. David doing a great job. David probably in the first half here would say is our Deemer's glass man of the game, as Tapaha with the rebound boxing out David. So I just give props to David, and he gets outboxed by Tapaha, our other choice for our last man of the game. But Brown knocking down a 3 for the Roadrunners. They're within 1. As Smith with the ball. Smith now slowing the pace down.
30 seconds left to play.
30 seconds left here in the first half. As Jay Smith gets it knocked away by, I want to say, Salabai for the Roadrunners. This is iTalk1067.com, Show LaForge's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com. Coach Johnson showing a little bit of frustration in his players, lining up where they need to. Panana with the inbound. 8-foot, I'm going to call that a 6-foot jumper in good. That's going to go ahead to Tom. Tom bringing it to the top of the key, sends it to Basenti. Basenti 3-point, and no good rebound, David. David with the Bulldogs over to Smith. Smith crossing half court, 3 seconds, 2 seconds. David, the big man, 4-3, and off the mark, and we're going to go to the half with the Winslow Bulldogs. Presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com as the Winslow Bulldogs have now stretched a lead into 7 points with just over a minute played, as they've done it by some very tenacious defense, as Tom's going to get it and send it over to Brown, as Tapaha was trapped in the middle there. And we were talking about halftime after we were off air a little bit, how Tapaha and David seem to be having a little bit of a go at that ball down low, as here's number 40 for the Roadrunners, Basenti, off the mark, and we're going to get a push and a foul, and that's going to go to the Bulldogs. And Jace, I did not expect that Bulldog run to start this half with what we saw.
I didn't either. Yeah, they came out to play. It's definitely going to be an exciting second half.
Cummings checks in the game for Brown. Brown's second personal foul. That's going to be the second team of the half. Winslow with the ball. Winslow being pressured. Torres on the near side. Torres left hand. Back over to Favai. Favai's going to get whistled for the travel, and Holbrook needs a chance to get back into it. Bulldogs and Roadrunners here. One of the, I got to venture to say that this is one of the oldest rivalries in the state.
I bet it is. It's gone back as long as I can remember.
As far as I know, and I'm not, and maybe I can have you put the Google up, or maybe I can, is what are the oldest rivalries in Arizona? Because I got to think St. John's Round Valley has got to be one of them. I got to think that Bisbee Douglas has been around a lot of years. But I'm going to look to, as the Roadrunners trying to chip away, down 7. Cummings with the ball. Over to Brown in the middle. 17 on the shot clock. Brown at the top of the key with it again. Holbrook keep trying to create something as that's going to be Basenti. And Basenti's going to nail that 3. And that's what Jace talked about at halftime. As Winslow looking for Favai. Favai no good, off the mark. Basenti with the rebound, but Basenti is going to kind of try to throw it around David. David's going to get not a foul, but he's going to get kind of kicked the ball out of bounds, so still going to belong to the Runners. As Basenti no good, off the mark. Rebound, very powerful rebound by Torres.
First thing that's coming up is Bisbee and Douglas.
Bisbee Douglas would seem like that would be the rivalry. And I think, because I have here that this year they met for the 153rd time.
Wow. It's a long time.
And so yeah, I think so. Bisbee Douglas, as we're going to get whistle and we're going to have a change of possession here. As like I said, Bisbee Douglas, one of the oldest in the state, and St. John's Round Valley has to be up there.
It's got to be, yeah.
I would venture to say St. John's Round Valley is probably over 100 years old. I've got to think. As there's a shot by Basenti. Basenti off the mark. Rebound by guess who? None other than David for the rebound. As we're going to get whistled, we're going to get a loose ball foul, and referee Quinn Ashton, that's going to go to number 30, Favai, Tyron Puhufavaya, and he's going to be, and that's going to now belong to the Roadrunners, and they brought it within 4 as Vicente brings up the ball. Over to Cummings. Cummings three-point range, doesn't like it. Back to Vicente, but ripped away, and now the Baker's going to have a fast break. Baker, easy bucket. Easy bucket for Baker. Off the mark, knocked around by David. David's going to get the rebound, and the officials are going to say it's going to go off the hands of David. And now, excuse me. Saying it's going to go off the hands of, is that Tapaha?
Number 5.
As we're going to get a whistle and we're going to get a travel. And I don't think that Monroe thinks he traveled a whole heck of a lot there. As we're getting a stop in action and the net being down, that's like the 3rd or 4th time that that we've had to do that.
Brown checked in for the Roadrunners.
Brown checking in for the Roadrunners, wearing number 5. As it's kind of been, as my statistician over here, Jace Hardy, looking at these rivalries, it's kind of hard to find, but the one we can find that's the oldest is Bisbee Douglas.
Yeah, I couldn't hardly.
And so I got to guess that Round Valley St. John's.
Yeah, when I typed it in, it kept bringing up Arizona State Territory Cup.
Well, that one's a long one too, but it's just something interesting to look at. I think another one, as that is going to be Favai in. And Favai hustling back, but no, Tapaha's going to get it. And now it's going to be stolen back from Tapaha by Favai. And Favai going to go for 2, up 8. As Holbrook, as now it's going to be a 10-point lead over the Roadrunners as number 23, Torres, puts it back. 10-point lead, 2:23 left here in the 3rd quarter. We've had a few stops in action as Tapaha misses off the mark. Tapaha gets the rebound back up and in, and that is good. Holbrook going to have to do everything they can to chip away. You know, Jace, back to our conversation, because I like talking about these things as we can turn our action over, is another old one I think would be Miami Globe. Deemer's glass man of the game. Right now, our Horn Auto Center straight line play of the game is, I'm not even going to go with one play. I'm going to go with this exchange that Winslow had midway through the 3rd quarter. His 3-pointer by the Roadrunners. Off the mark, rebounded by, is that Bia? No, that is Salabi with the rebound, and
he called a push on 30,
whistled in a foul by, no, they're going to call it on Salabi.
20.
And that's going to be his first team of the quarter. Just over 5 minutes left into David. And Holbrook seeming to be calling it back a little bit, as that's the ball is to Talon Dick. Dick up for 2 points. 57-47, still a 10-point lead. I see Holbrook starting to go to that 3-point, Jace, as we continue our game here. As that's going to go inside Tapaha. Tapaha is going to be blocked, and he is going to be blocked by Favai.
Wow.
And that's going to be knocked out of bounds. Still going to belong to Roadrunners, but that's a little bit of a demoralizing thing for your team as Vicente set to inbound the ball. Vicente.
Yeah, it seems like they're trying to sneak back
in
down
the corner
to
that is Salabi.
Exactly
and off the mark, no good. It wouldn't count anyway because he didn't call it. Got to call it off the glass at this day, and I'm kidding. Folks, I'm kidding. 10-point lead by the Winslow Bulldogs as ball's going to stick to the Roadrunners. Brown to inbound. My guess is Brown going to look for Vicente. No, Brown's going to, yes, to the top to Kinlachini. Over to Vicente. Vicente dribbling up on the 3-point line in the corner to Salabi. No good. Inside to Tapaha. No, pass inside to Tapaha. Tapaha up and no good. And ball's going to be knocked away by Tapaha. No, not. Actually, no, that was Salabi. In the hands of Tapaha. And now Brown is going to get a bucket, fix the net,
Fix the
3-point,
net for about
7-point
the
lead.
sixth time tonight.
It is about the 6th or 7th. And I don't have that official stat, but I'm pretty sure you're right. As Baker's going to bring up the ball. Baker over to Favai. Favai driving on the right side. In, no good. Back to David. David, 10-foot jumper. Good. And that gives us a 9-point lead as the Bulldogs do what they can. Tabaha, the big man, dribbling the ball. Sends it over to Brown to cross it over to Kinlachini. Back to Kinlachini. Kinlachini to Salaby. Back to Kinlachini. And we're going to get a blocking foul. And that is going to be the 3rd team foul on the Bulldogs. And that's going to be Holbrook ball at the 28-foot line. I believe that's what we call it. As 5, Brown is going to bring it in to Basenti. Basenti dribbling up close on the line inside to David. David holding. Now he's going to give it to Favai to dribble. Favai over to Talon. Talon Dick with the ball, number 15. He has it knocked away, but saved by Favai. Favai dribbling left side. Back out to David. Torres, 3-point shot,
wow,
good.
What a shot.
And that could be the difference in the game right there, Jason. We have a 12-point lead with 3.5 minutes left, and the Holbrook, the Winslow contingent behind their bench is pretty vocal.
Right.
The Holbrook crowd is pretty silent right now, needing something to get back into it, and didn't get it there. Rolls off the top of the backboard. Rebound to Brown. Brown to the top of the key. Sends it over to Kinlachini. Kinlachini inside to Tapaha. Tapaha the lane just opened
game.
wide up, and Holbrook's going to take a timeout. We're going to take a timeout with 3 minutes and 11 seconds left. It's a Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
Who sells the #1 truck in America? Sholo Ford. That's right. Not only do they sell it, Sholo Ford is the best place to buy it. Why? Guy Hatch guarantees it. In fact, he guarantees you'll get the best deal on your next Ford car, van, or SUV as well. It doesn't matter what you buy. Sholo Ford has the best deal. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
Want to go fishing? Head to Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport. They have fishing supplies, outdoor fishing attire, and fishing gear. Plus all kinds of bait including live worms, flies, and lures. The staff are experienced anglers and they can advise you on what you need, where to go, and what type of bait the fish are biting on. Plus, pick up your fishing, camping, and boat permits. When you think fishing, think Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport. Located on Highway 260, 1 mile before the casino.
Welcome back to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com as the Winslow Bulldogs holding a 10-point lead on the Holbrook Roadrunners as we tick off the last 3 minutes and 11 seconds. Holbrook with 2 timeouts, Winslow holding strong with 4 as Holbrook doing what they can to put the pressure on inbound the ball. They're going to give it to Favai, trying to force Favai into the corner to trap him. Favai dribbles out of it ahead to Baker. Baker 7-foot jumper, no good. Rebound by the Roadrunners, and that is Cummings, but the ball is knocked away, and we're going to get a foul, and that's going to be a foul on Baker. And I think Baker's going to have to watch it because I think he's a little bit close.
I think he's got 3 or 4 of them.
Well, more importantly, that's the 14th
4
foul. Baker has 4. That's the 14th foul. So their next their next foul, violations are different in basketball. He is going to be, the Bulldogs are going to be shooting the 2-point shot as Tapaha dribbles right side, and he may get an offensive foul there.
Yep,
As
exactly
that, I believe, Jace, that's a textbook definition of what they call a player control foul. And you watch it here on the replay, oh my goodness. I don't want to say he lowered that shoulder intentionally, but it sure did look like on the replay like he did. As that's Favai bringing it up. Favai to David. David in the line for our glass man of the game. I think the winner of this game is going to get the glass man of the game for the effort. And that's why he's in the line for the glass man of the game there, Jace. 12-point lead now for his squad. 2.5 left to play. Tapaha over to the far side to Basenti. Basenti to Cummings. To Basenti back, and that is to Kinlachini. Kinlachini inside to Tapaha, and he's going to be fouled. He does make the basket, and he gets to go to the line and shoot a little bit. Well, before we get going too much farther, Jason, I want to thank you for joining me tonight and giving me a little respite on the mic, and always a pleasure seeing you.
Thanks
for those not really curious, but Jason and I go back about 3, maybe 4 years now, officiating high school football together. One of my favorite pastimes as we're going to get a timeout. We're going to go ahead and keep it here, folks, and catch you up on action as we can look at some of our things going on. But Mr. Hardy and I here have officiated some high school football together. One of my favorite things to do is officiate high school football and call these games on iTalk and then some other side gigs. And I also teach high school, so safe to say I enjoy high school students, their youth, their vibrance, their energy, keeping us all young. So I appreciate Mr. Hardy joining me and helping me out this evening and giving some great color commentary and insight, being from the Winslow community. Well, it is appreciated, sir.
It's been fun. Definitely a new experience for me. So
as we go into the last, and it does kind of feel now like Winslow is in total control of this game, as we're going to go ahead and again, I got to apologize. We haven't give Comfort Fit Dentures their 3-point due, and we haven't had Mountain Mobile Auto Glass with our free throws. Horn Auto Center right now in the line for our drive of the half is Welcome back to Shiloh Ford's presentation of high school basketball. As the last 40 seconds kick off, Winslow with a 9-point lead, and it just feels like that three-pointer late in the game sealed the deal. As we're going to go ahead and head to our Honda Ski and Outdoor post-game show as the last 27 points kick off. And with our post-game show, we got a couple things we need to take as there's a full timeout taken here. We'll leave it here and wrap this up with our post-game show. The first thing is we got our Horn Auto Center drive of the half. And I would like to go, Jace, with that run. So we're going to call that a drive where Winslow went up and had about a 12-0 run there in the third quarter.
Yeah, I agree. They definitely were unstoppable there for a minute.
It seemed that way too. So congratulations to the Winslow Bulldogs. We'll get you the final score as the seconds tick away. The next thing we need to look at is our Deemer's Glass man of the game. 188 Glassman, Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. And I think we both have the same vote on that one.
Yeah, David, he's put him in
Isaac David for the Winslow Bulldogs. Him and Tapaha were going back and forth on the rebounds. That was a little good rivalry. I'm not sure if this is the second. I don't know if these teams have played in Winslow yet.
I'm not sure.
But
I don't think they played in Winslow.
I would think that would be a good matchup to watch. And, the 3A East is wide open right now. The way both these teams played tonight, I think Winslow had a tough loss the other night to Snowflake, but they played Snowflake 4 times and are 3-1 against them. And then they come here and win. But Holbrook had been doing a lot of damage to teams as we're going to get a foul. And it's going to be a long 19.1 seconds left. But congratulations to Isaac David for being our Deemer's Glassman of the game, 1888 Glassman. And before we go away, we got to thank all our sponsors. Shiloh Ford, they're our overall sponsor for high school basketball, and they bring this to you. Ace Hardware with our keys to the game. Anytime you need a key made, day or night, contact Ace Hardware of the White Mountains with locations in Shiloh, Pine Top, and Heber Overguard. Comfort Fit Dentures with our 3-pointers. And, of course, Deemer's Glass with our Glassman of the game, 1888 Glassman, Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Summit Healthcare with our injury report. Summit Healthcare of the White Mountains. Honda Ski and Outdoor for all your hunting, fishing, and cold weather needs. Honda Ski and Outdoor, they're our halftime and postgame show sponsor. Northland Pioneer College with our tip-off. When it comes time to tip off your college education, tip it off to the college with the lowest tuition in the state. That's Northland Pioneer College with the locations in Apache and Navajo County. Horn Auto Center with our drive of the half. Horn, I believe it's just GMC. They might do Chevy too, but I'm not positive. But Horn Auto Center on the deuce across from the new Cal Ranch. Horn Auto Center. As this one's going to do it by Favai up and in. And the last seconds are going to click off. And our last sponsor we'd like to thank is Mountain Mobile Auto Glass. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass for their sponsorship of our free throws. Ladies and gentlemen, the final tonight from Holbrook High School. The Winslow Bulldogs victorious over the home team, the Holbrook Roadrunners, 73-62. I'm Aaron Hewish for Mel, our producer in the truck, Robin on the camera, and my partner in crime tonight, Jace Hardy. Appreciate him stepping in at the last minute and giving us some great commentary. I'm Aaron Hewish for all of us at italk1067.com. Have a safe travel home or wherever you may be. Enjoy your evening, and we will be on sometime next week for our Sholo Ford presentation. This has been Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
This has been Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk 1067 KNKI Pine Top and italk1067.com. Brought to you in part by Northland Pioneer College, Ace Hardware of the White Mountains, Deemer's Glass, Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint, Comfort Fit Dentures, Summit Regional Medical Center, Horn Auto Center, and Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport. This broadcast has been a copyrighted production of iTalk 1067 and Country Mountain Airwaves, a Kopaniki communication station. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or use of this broadcast without the expressed written consent of iTalk 1067 or Country Mountain Airwaves is strictly prohibited. For more information on this game and other games around the region, go to italk1067.com.